We gotta eat, don't we? That's no way to talk, Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea! Come on out, Sweet Pea. Daddy won't make you go fishing if you don't want a Sweet Pea. Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you to do a Blu-ray review that I never really expected to do, or at least this early. I guess it's really not that early because the original Blu-rays for Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 came out maybe better part of, I guess 10 years ago. Time flies when you get old, let me tell you. But something happened last year that was kind of really unexpected. I was just thinking about it last night, back when the Scream Factory released Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. I want to say that it's quite possible that within a year or sometime not long after, a year after they put those titles out on Blu-ray, they became like they stopped selling it and they became like out of print. And it was always just this big mystery to me. And it's just like a better part of 10 years, if not maybe 10 years, it might be 10 years now. 9 or 10 years probably since the Blu-ray releases of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. And they've been out of print for, better part of 10 years or whatever. And it's just like finally something happened at the end of 2024, which was kind of interesting under the, I thought it was Sandpaper at first, but I guess it's Sandpiper Pictures label, which I'd never heard of. I guess Sandpiper, I researched it. I guess it's some bird. Yeah, because I thought Sandpaper Pictures was stupid. I think Sandpiper Pictures is kind of stupid as well. But last year in December 2024, under the Sandpiper Pictures label, believe it or not, just out of the blue, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 Blu-rays were basically released, and I wasn't able to get. I'm still looking to get the new Sandpiper release of Sleepaway Camp 2. If you're wondering why I'm reviewing this before I review Sleepaway Camp 2 Sandpiper Blu-ray release, that's why, because I was able to get this one first and I'm still unable to get the Sleepaway Camp 2. I'll probably, if I can get it for a decent price, I'll probably snag Sleepaway Camp 2 Sandpiper Blu-ray release, because it's nice to have a backup copy, and honestly I'll probably watch this version of Sleepaway Camp 3 instead of the now coveted Scream Factory Blu-ray release. But I'm basically just stopping on by to share my thoughts and also review the recently released Sandpiper. So crazy. I thought it was Sandpaper at first. Sandpiper Pictures Blu-ray release of Sleepaway Camp 3. My old lady don't give me no more. So when I originally heard about this release, maybe October, November of 2024, I was like, what the hell? Whoever heard of Sandpaper? I didn't realize until actually just today that it's Sandpiper. For all these months I thought it was Sandpaper. Sandpaper home video, whatever, but it's Sandpiper Pictures, I guess. I was like, who the hell ever heard of them, and how did they get a hold of it, and what is it going to be like? Is it going to be off the VHS? Like, what kind of quality are we dealing with here? And it turns out, cut to, months later or weeks later or whatever, I got a chance to see it myself, the Blu-ray of Sleepaway Camp 3 on Sandpiper Pictures, home video or whatever the hell you want to call it. I mean, basically, I looked at some reviews, some print reviews online, and people were saying basically that this is just as good, or if not better, than the former, the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. And they figured it was probably just the same scan, which of course I'm sure it is. And I was just like, that's kind of interesting. There's this hole in the wall, no name freaking Blu-ray company puts out, the coveted freaking sequels, 2 sequels to Sleepaway Camp that have been out of print on Blu-ray for close to a decade, and they actually look good. I knew at the time, obviously, as well, that the special features were pretty much, well, not pretty much, more or less gone, with the exception of the commentary. It's cool that they include that, and the trailer. I think in both cases of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, it's basically a home video trailer, obviously, but it's kind of cool that they at least included the commentary in the trailer, because it would have, it would have been easy probably just for them to bother with that at all. I would imagine certain legal reasons are the reasons, you know, we can't have any of the special features or whatever, but honestly, for me, it's more about the movie anyway than it is about the special features. So I'm pleased to say that the you know, the video and audio quality on this release is basically, I can't, you know, some people were saying it might have been a little more grainy, like you know, these two recent Sandpiper Blu-ray releases of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are possibly a little more grainy than, you know, the former Blu-ray releases by Scream Factory. I honestly didn't notice any difference whatsoever between the Scream Factory Blu-ray of Sleepaway Camp 3 and the new I gotta try not to say Sandpiper Blu-ray release. It's just, it looks really great, just like the original Blu-ray release. So if you can get this for a decent price, I would actually kind of recommend it. Like I say, the whole reason I got it is I got it for a relatively decent price, and I was just like, you know, I actually watched, just for the record, I actually did a lot of watching of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 like last summer, towards the end of the summer. I kind of, as summer was, you know, getting closer and closer to ending, I was like just doing Sleepaway Camp 2 like on repeat, with plans to, you know, when it gets cooler, because Sleepaway Camp 3 is more of a fall kind of a, you know, fall kind of an appearance. I was like, I'm going to just do, you know, at the end of summer, I'll just do part 2, and then I'll do Sleepaway Camp 3, you know, a lot on repeat in the fall. And what's one of the cool things about these movies being so short is, you know, 80 minutes a piece or whatever, you know, obviously it's really easy to just watch these movies over and over, and so that's what I found myself doing at the end of last summer and early fall and stuff. So I probably watched Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 more like last year than I'd watched these in a long time. For some reason, like, it was just like, wow, you know, these so wonderfully freaking just capture the 80s in such a wonderful way. And for the record, you know, I've reviewed the movies and the Blu-rays, you know, years ago whenever they came out. So this isn't a movie review, but I'm just basically sharing, you know, my current day stance on Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, just because, yeah, it just so happens to have like this, you know, last year towards the end of summer, just freaking Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 nutso, and I couldn't get enough of them at the time. So it was kind of cool that just months later, the Sandpiper Pictures actually regaled us with new pressings of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. As I was saying, the image looks absolutely stunning, just as stunning as the original Blu-ray release. I couldn't notice any difference between this one and the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. You know, all the grain is fully intact, and, you know, basically if you've seen the original Scream Factory Blu-ray release, you've basically seen the Sandpiper Blu-ray release. Nothing, I'd say the same thing goes for the sound. Nothing horrible to report in the video or audio front. I didn't bother with the commentary, but, you know, I can only assume it's actually there. And I did watch the trailer, the like home video trailer, so I can confirm that that is there as well. Taking a closer look at the front cover of this release, a lot of people have complained about the recent Sandpiper releases of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, but honestly I prefer the cover arts they have going compared to the newly commissioned cover arts from the Scream Factory Blu-ray releases basically a decade ago, or close to a decade ago. At least these ones, in this case Sleepaway Camp 3, basically just more mirror the original cover art. I know you had a reversible cover art option on those releases, which is something I definitely took advantage of. But if you're going to only have one cover, I honestly don't have a problem with this cover. At least it's basically using the original cover art and kind of just changing it up a bit. Honestly, I think the black and white motif is kind of interesting in what they do with the cover. I don't really have a huge problem with. I want to say, looking at it closer, yeah, I think they gave it kind of a folded up poster look to it. So I honestly don't have a problem with the Sandpiper's cover art. Taking a look at the back, as you can see on the top corner there, it's all your logos. Sandpiper Pictures, and MGM seems to still basically own the rights, I would imagine, to Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. You've got your Region A, DTS, and oh, it's copy protected. Oh, woe is me. Got 3 images there, one of Tracy Griffith in terror and her, mouth gagged or whatever. You've got just a goofy picture, which I don't think I've ever seen before. It must be a behind the scenes still or something, of the big star power of the movie, which is of course Michael J. Pollard, or Pollard, however the hell you pronounce it. Then an image, I think, what has been on the back of Sleepaway Camp 3 home video since the VHS and Laserdisc days. I think the one of the character there, Angela with the pistol. The summer slaughter continues in Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. Camp New Horizons promises outdoor adventure and bonding for a group of troubled teens. But Angela has other plans, swapping her camper uniform for a killer disguise. The not-so-reformed counselor is back with more creative ways to cut the fun short. Whether it's over-the-top pranks or misbehaving campers, Angela's gruesome sense of justice leaves a trail of bodies in her wake. With absurd kills and dark humor, this third installment proves that at camp, nobody's safe. This release contains bonus optional audio commentary with director Michael A. Simpson and writer Fritz Gordon. Bonus features are not rated or subtitled. Then we can see release year for the film, 1988, color 80 minutes, aspect ratio, and all this other information you can see there, along with abbreviated credits. Taking a look at the disc, following basically the graphic art design of the front and rear covers, kind of this goofy, I don't know what you'd call it, almost sepia kind of old-fashioned look to it. I guess is it the lake? Possibly a lake here. Sleepaway Camp 3, at least they got the original logo, which is appreciated. Teenage Wasteland can be seen there. It's actually kind of cool how they didn't bother with any faces or anything, or the front cover artwork or anything. They just chose to do like basically just a shot of the trees in the lake for the disc. I actually like the disc art and the layout here. Underneath towards the bottom we can see all the logos, Sandpiper pictures, MGM, and all these other logos as well. So I'm hoping to get the Sandpiper Blu-ray release of Sleepaway Camp 2. I can only assume that's the more popular one. That's why I was not able to get that quite yet, but I was able to snag Sleepaway Camp 3. I would imagine out of the two, Sleepaway Camp 3 is the least popular one. It was formerly my favorite, but I think after watching Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 a lot last year, I think I think arguably 2 is probably better, but I think they're kind of equal. I think I like them equally these days. So, if I am able to get a hold of the the Sandpiper Blu-ray release of Sleepaway Camp 2, you can definitely be sure I'll stop on by to review it. But I guess that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.